So there's a concept that some of you might be familiar with and some others might not, but that is iceberg charts. Gaining popularity in 2020 by YouTuber Wendigoon went on to make a 9-layer /part series explaining and breaking down a conspiracy theory iceberg chart. An iceberg chart is an image used to represent from top to bottom all known subjects about a topic, varying from well-known subjects to obscure and unfamiliar ones. My name is Nate Johnson, host of the Iceberg Translators, and I'm going to be breaking down and explaining layer 1 of 9 of the Conspiracy Theory Iceberg Chart. Luckily for you all, this iceberg has 9 layers, and I'm going to be going over the first one with you all. The first layer is titled Crazy Head, and the description reads, Mainstream conspiracies and unsolved mysteries. Most of this stuff is well documented and is well known to a good portion of Western citizens, and a lot of common theories may be grouped in broader terms or may not even appear on the chart at all, considering their meaning and popularity. I would also like to say that at this segment I will be talking about a bonus conspiracy theory submitted by one of my friends that both interested them and I. So without further introduction, let's get into my favorite conspiracy theories from the Conspiracy Theory Iceberg Chart. So to start things off, at entry 1 we have chemtrails. So if you aren't aware of what these are, chemtrails are the white lines of cloud left by the planes from time to time that you'll see on a normal day. The theory is that governments or other secret parties are engaged in the secret initiative to plant toxic chemicals into the air, leaving the visible white lines we know as chemtrails. People also speculate that the results of these actions actually can cause sterilization, weather control, reduced life expectancy, or even mind control. Up next on the list, we have vaccines. For this one, it's specifically talking about the pharmaceutical companies surrounding the vaccines, but not the vaccines in general. So from what I've read, the vaccines are being concealed and delayed from release so that pharmaceutical companies can keep making money and gaining profit off of them. And since pharmaceutical companies make a lot of money off of the profit of vaccines, theorists think that this is the most likely scenario. And next, we have media control. The theory goes that every source of social media or news media that you see are controlled by a higher power in order to filter specific types of media to you. To expand on this, an example could be that a famous politician that knows how to play the game can filter out necessary keywords or bypass filters in order to get results and get a bigger crowd in return. Another theory on this is that all of the ads that you see are actually being tipped off to be shown to you, the audience. I think a lot can be said about this one, and it is very plausible that a higher power actually could be controlling the media outlets, but that isn't for me to say. Next, we have the Mandela effect, and this is probably one of the most famous conspiracies out there. If you aren't aware of what the Mandela effect is, it refers to a situation in which a large mass of people believes that an event occurred when it did not. The way that this whole theory started was with a man of the name Nelson Mandela. In 1961, he was arrested for treason, and then he was also arrested again in 1962 for illegally leaving the country, and convicted and sentenced for 5 years to Robben Island prison. He was put on trial again in 1964 of charges of sabotage. After his prison release, he went on to become the president of South Africa and was inaugurated on May 10, 1994. After 19 years, Nelson Mandela passed away on December 5, 2013. The weird thing is that countless people remember him dying in prison in the 1980s when he actually died in 2013. The most famous example of the Mandela effect is people distinctly remember the Monopoly man having a top hat and a monocle. Well, what if I told you he didn't have a monocle at all? In fact, the Monopoly man never had a monocle to begin with. Another very famous example of the Mandela effect is in the movie Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. The most famous lines ever said in cinema history, Luke, I am your father, actually turned out to be, no, I am your father.
You killed him. No, I am your father.
Countless examples could be said about this one, but if you are interested or want more of an explanation, just simply search up the Mandela effect on your search browser. Next one we have on the list is lizard and government conspiracies. The theory is that there are actually reptiles living among us and plan to dominate society as we know it. People also suggest that they either started off as lizard people or actually got possessed by a lizard person. The proof that theorists actually believe that there are lizard people is footage that you can find from all around the internet, spacing from newscasts, speeches given by national leaders, or even celebrities. Many people report seeing people on live TV or footage blinking sideways, producing reptile-like scales, or forked tongues while drinking from a glass. I kid you not, there is a video of Justin Bieber getting trialed for court, and he blinks like a reptile, and it is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, but I'll put it up for you guys so you can kind of see what I'm talking about.
Mr. Bieber, you are charged with the following. DUI.
And the next theory that we have up on the list is New World Order. This theory suggests that there is a group higher than the government itself, and its goal is global domination. They supposedly were the ones responsible for the two biggest wars in the last 2 decades, control and staging of major events that's happened, and purposely ruin the economy of other governments and places. Theorists also suggest that there is a group named Illuminati that secretly promotes their goal and their existence of this new world order. People also believe that a wide range of musicians such as Beyonce or Whitney Houston are actually believed to be associated with the group itself. For the next one we have Nibiru, which is a very, very interesting one. Also referred to as Planet X, Nibiru is a rogue planet that scientists believe will crash into Earth, causing the Nibiru cataclysm or the end of the world. A lot of people, along with scientists, thought this was going to happen in December of 2012, but that turned out just to be a hoax. Some people believe that the supposed rogue planet doesn't exist, but the people that do are actually preparing for the worst. And the next one we have on the list is Area 51. Area 51 is a government facility located in Nevada that is rumored to house aliens and conducted to research on alien species and artifacts. It is not accessible to anyone without certain government approval or titles, but it is always under 24-hour surveillance 365 days a year. Although there is actually no proof of aliens or extraterrestrial beings, right? Well, the government actually confirmed the existence of aliens, so I wouldn't be surprised if Area 51 is just a gold mine of aliens. Up next on the list is the multiverse. This theory suggests that our universe with countless stars, planets, and galaxies is not the only one out there. Though there is no evidence that this theory actually does exist, but you can't disprove it either. The multiverse theory also introduces new subjects for scientists to talk about, and one of those subjects are string theory. String theory is a theoretical framework that is made up of one-dimensional particles smaller than atoms called strings, and a scale being if an atom was magnified and represented as the universe, a string in that theoretical universe would be just a tree. The existence of strings also suggests that there are multiple universes parallel to each other, but according to quantum physics, this is not possible. Next is BEC, or also known as black-eyed children. They are described to have black eyes, pale skin, and have been reportedly seen hitchhiking, begging, or are encountered on the doorsteps of residential homes. This was originally a creepypasta and was picked up by the director of Black-Eyed Children, and he went on to make a Kickstarter fund to fund the movie. There's no video proof that this actually does exist, but nonetheless it is still a fun internet legend. And finally, for our final entry on the list is brainwashing. Brainwashing is the concept that the human mind can be altered or controlled by means of certain techniques. Brainwashing is said to make a person involuntarily look like they are separated from their mind. The first talk about brainwashing was the China and the Korean War back in 1950, as well as pop culture from movies like Men in Black, or there are even legal cases where the defendant brings up that they have been brainwashed. There's a lot to talk about in this topic with things such as MK Ultra, but I'll get into that in just one second. And there we have it, some of my favorite entries from the first layer of the Conspiracy Theory Iceberg. Before I end this though, I want to go over a theory that one of my friends suggested to me, and that is MK Ultra. Also known as Project MK Ultra, was a confirmed project done and the code of a secret and illegal experiment designed and undergone by the CIA to hopefully make people suspected of being spies to force confections. The projects took place in a US Army biological warfare lab, and they would do things such as give high doses of psychoactive drugs, electroshocks, isolation, and more. It was also said that the people behind MK Ultra actually had containment camps all around the world so that the US could avoid criminal prosecution. As for the amount of casualties of the project, the CIA are actually unaware of the number as it is immeasurable. And this project has actually been confirmed, and there are actually like files and stuff that you could read up on it. So if you are interested, just search that up. So that is it. The actual ending of this podcast of me going over my favorite conspiracy theories from Layer 1. And to be honest, this is kind of hard to end considering the amount of unnecessary effort I've put into this and the endless hours of research that I have actually done to prepare for this. So teacher, if you're listening, please give me a good grade. But it was actually totally worth it. And for the record, I would like to do more of this, like even as just like a side thing, not a school project. So if any of you listening are actually interested in that, just comment and let me know. Feel free to subscribe if you really like this. For the other people that had other things to do, it's okay, I get it. Thank you all for listening so much, and God bless you all.